Good evening, everybody. How's it going? This is your old Uncle Hunter, and I'm here with Scott. Scott, how's it going, sir?
I was thinking we do like a Price is Right themed
I like that. That's classy.
theme show.
Um,
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Hunter.
Good man.
You're
And
such just a gentle man.
I try, man, but pardon me. But basically, we're just knocking out some reviews here and talking about some trailers because, as you know, we are in the midst of summer movie season, and with and just because this is a trailer review for Batman v Superman, why the fuck aren't they calling it versus? That just bothers me. That it's just like v super whatever. Anyways, but
You're
um,
just bothered to begin with.
you know what? I will get into that, but
Okay.
um, but
I am looking forward to it,
but
Hunter.
first off, shout out to Marvel for $188 million opening weekend for Avengers. Woo! Like, I knew it wasn't gonna break its prior record just because of the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, and like there was a great Game 7 on yesterday. Congratulations, Clippers and Chris Paul. You actually got past the first round.
Yeah,
Which
that was pretty incredible game.
yeah. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, Batman vs Superman. I'm
Okay,
calling
so Batman is like a bat,
it
and
correct.
he fights other bats, and then Superman is like this guy who wears tights and like has sex with reporters.
Yeah, correct. Male reporters, by the way.
Okay, there you go.
But okay, so I just got to get in this, and so I've had a couple people tweet me actually, and like some of my friends accuse me of like not loving DC, and what bothers me is that I fucking love like DC comics. The Flash is one of the best shows on TV right now. I love Dark Knight, obviously, who doesn't? But you know, and I grew up watching Batman the Animated Series, which is, if you listen to one of our top 10 favorite shows of all time podcast, is one of my favorite shows ever. I fucking love DC. My biggest problem with DC, as far as their movies are concerned, is that I feel like DC is just like whatever. Like we don't like we could give a shit. Like we have Superman, whatever. Like it just bothers me just to,
Kind of. Do you mean like they hit it out of the park and then stop trying, or they just are being kind of just I don't know,
I think
they're just not trying in
I
general?
don't think they're trying at all because like you I'm trying to remember, did you see Man of Steel? Did
I
you
have, yep, yeah, and that's the one we disagreed on. You didn't like it, and I liked it a little better than you, but didn't really like love it. I didn't love it, but I liked it a little bit better than you, I
The
think.
thing that drove me nuts is that it's like, hey, you know, I'm trying to save Metropolis to make sure people don't get hurt. And yet it's like, hey, you're throwing fucking Zod through buildings and shit. It's like, if it's like, you know, like, there are civilians in those buildings, right? It drove me nuts. But see, it's the same way I thought about Watchmen, where like the first 20 minutes of Watchmen, I'm like, oh shit, this is alright. And then, like, actually, I would even extend it to like 30 minutes. And then, like, so that first act was so good, and then it was like, oh, hey, let's just start being terrible now. Um, okay, full disclosure on this. Um, I fully admit my bias to an extent for this trailer because I hate Zack Snyder. I think Zack Snyder is, as I've called on the show before, a hack. I think he's a fucking hack. I have no respect for this dude. You laugh all you
Wow.
want. I don't give a shit. I think Zack Snyder is terrible. Like, I think he fucked up Watchmen. I think he fucked up Superman in a way I just couldn't even believe. And then to put out that movie Sucker Punch, it's like, oh hey, I'm empowering women by
You
showing them in
you
their
you really hate Sucker
I
Punch.
hate
Like
Sucker Punch.
that's one of those movies that you just despise.
That's one of those few movies where someone's like, I like Sucker Punch. I'm like, we don't ever need to talk about movies like ever again. Like, oh god, I hate Sucker Punch so much. And that's like, it's like, oh, the girls are hot, right? It's like, yeah, but it's kind of awkward knowing that she's girl. You know what? Sorry, not a Sucker Punch review. Sorry, I'm just gonna get off on Sucker Punch here, but
You just start ranting for like an hour on Sucker
yeah,
Punch.
exactly. Yeah, turn into a Ninja Turtles trailer all over again.
Oh jeez.
But okay, so look, I will say I'll say a couple things for this trailer. The bat suit looks badass. That is one thing right out the gate. I was like, I'll be damned. Like, and for you comic book fans, if you've read Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, which is what it seems like they're kind of trying to get that vibe, that suit is like plucked straight out of the comics. So I give him credit for the costume looking as good as it does.
Is this now the premise based on the comics to someone who hasn't read it like me? The premise is that Batman is the bad one. Is that correct?
So basically, it's just like, hey, there's this god in Superman who can destroy shit. We don't really know what side he's on, and Batman's like, okay, well, I need to make sure this dude is like on the level and not some crazy fucking psychopath. So they just, yeah, they fight for a little bit, and then shocker, they resolve their differences, and yeah, like come together.
So Batman isn't the bad guy in this one.
Not really. Neither one of them's bad per se. They just don't know if they can trust the other person. So I'm like, okay. But
see, that's a little bit I have a problem with the beginning. You know, it's like Batman versus Superman. Like, they can't be just both good guys. I mean, that just seems like, I mean, they can. Sure, they're going to bend it around that way, but I don't know. This is solely based on the review the trailer. Right.
The thing is, okay, so I'm just gonna say this. So I think the costume for Batman looks good. I think the Superman costume looks better. I'm still not sold on the Superman costume just because I think I'm just not liking the way it's designed. I think the S looks retarded. By the way, that's another thing, but that's that's just me. Point out, but I'm not sold on what's his name, Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm just not. I'm not sold on him as Clark Kent even yet. And then we bring in the fact that Ben Affleck is playing Batman, and I'm not sold on that either. So this movie, it's a lot of uncertainty on my part. I'm just not sold on the cast at all. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor especially. I'm just like, how the hell am I supposed to just... I'm not hopeful for this movie. And like, when I think about the fact Zack Snyder... here you go. This is how I would put it. So, have you seen the trailer for the Fantastic Four movie coming out?
I have, yeah.
So, this is how I put this. I think the movie is going to be like that. Those trailers I think are interesting, but I'm still not like, oh my god, it's going to be like X-Men or something like that. But since it's Josh Trank who directed Chronicle, it fills me some more hope. It kind of makes me go like, okay, this could be good. The fact that it's like, oh, Batman vs Superman on the big screen finally. The concept is good, but since it's Zack Snyder directing it, it fills me with dread. And I'm just like, I feel like this is going to get fucked up really badly.
I think I would agree with you. I think I'm probably more excited about Fantastic Four. Because that actually kind of got me excited. That trailer that I just saw. That was, I think one of the, compared to Batman vs Superman, I think I got more excited about that movie and seeing those characters unfold and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. And look, who knows? I could be, and that's the thing is like, if this movie's good, I will totally give it its props. I will be like, oh, okay, like I'll be damned, you pulled this off. But I'm not feeling good about the fact he has to reintroduce Batman, continue Superman's story, introduce Wonder Woman, introduce Aquaman, and perhaps also introduce Cyborg while showing us a new Lex Luthor. I'm like, that's a lot to balance, and I'm just not sold on the fact that he can pull off. So, just to piggyback that, I'm not sold on the plot or anything like that, or the movie necessarily, but I will disagree with you. I think the main character, the actor that plays Superman, I think I liked his role previously in was it Superman is the Returns? No, Superman Returns was the one with Kevin Spacey,
Oh, that's right.
who
No, what was the last one called?
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. That's right. Yeah. So I think he's got the look. I think that he's got the Superman look, and that's one of the hardest things
That's true.
to find. I think personally, like when I think about Superman, you got this like all American chin with a
Big swinging dick. Yeah.
yeah. What if they ever did like it's just like a very explicit sex scene with Superman and Lois Lane, and it was just like the most graphic thing you've ever seen, and Superman is just like, whoa,
well,
because that's why they call it the super dick, you
well,
know,
they-
like
well, Amy Adams does love to get naked, so I mean that's. You know what's funny? The first movie that she, you know, the first movie that she did that was kind of mainstream. Amy Adams,
no, no, I don't.
Cruel Intentions 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, I know. It's weird because I was watching American Hustle and I was like, God, why does she look so familiar? I was like, oh yeah, she did the like Cruel Intentions 2 where she was like in lingerie the whole time. I'm like, oh, this chick's pretty cool. I was just like, oh, it's Amy Adams. That's kind of weird now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's a delight, but
Always getting sidetracked. Dang.
yeah, I know. Damn us. But yeah, overall, I'm just not very excited for this. I mean, I hope it's good because if you're a DC fanboy, you can't really talk shit because you put out like a Man of Steel movie and a Green Lantern movie. It's kind of like you guys need to win. So, look, I'm like I said, I'm a DC fan too. I want this to be good, but I just don't. I just don't trust that. You know who would do a good Superman movie?
Who?
Ron Howard. I think he would do a great Superman movie. Hear me out. I know your head. You're like, what the fuck? Like Ron Howard. Hear me out because
Okay, I'll hear you out.
hear me out. So, oh, pardon me, as I burped there because of my beer. Pardon me, but so first thing. He can handle things with action because he just did Rush. That's one of the last things he did.
That was a great movie. Right
He
there.
is stellar when it comes to dialogue and action, something like Apollo 18. But then he can craft characters in a way that the dialogue back and forth is just so crisp. Because one of my favorite movies the year it came out was Frost Nixon, and he did that, and that got like an Oscar nomination. Like
Right.
Ron Howard's no joke.
Oh
Like,
no, he's an excellent director.
and I think he could totally capture that Americana aspect of Superman, which is so important, even though he's not from here. I think he would do an amazing Superman movie.
He also does a great like son of a sheriff in in a certain show.
Nice.
He nails that role. So if
Yeah.
he's ever looking to get into that,
There you go.
he's got to check that off his resume.
Such a
No,
dick.
I actually think that would probably be good. I mean, I laugh, but has he ever done a? I mean, what's his action kind of repertoire? I guess Apollo 13 was
Yeah, I mean,
that was considered action, I would say.
yeah,
But
he doesn't really do like action stuff too often, but I think he could pull it off. I really do.
yeah, I just kind of go back to the preview. I think I don't know. I'm interested. Like I feel like I'm just kind of I don't know, like I dumb about the whole thing a little bit and just kind of going in like, oh, I hope this is really cool. Like I hope that there's big explosions and like Batman's cool. Like that's just kind of like that's like my thought process coming in because I don't really know a lot of the background. So
Yeah,
like I mean I did see Man of Steel and Dark Knight and all that goodness, but I don't know. We'll see. That's a we'll see for me. Like I don't know. Like I don't. Like I'm not either way on it yet. But I can see where you're coming from with your preconceived notions about it.
I think one thing that is bothering me too, and this is the last thing I'll say, is that Marvel built up what they do. They did one, two, three, like 6 movies before we got to an Avengers movie. So like, it felt like like this is epic.
right?
they're just doing this Batman vs Superman movie, and then they're jumping right into a Justice League movie. I'm kind of like, like okay, like
Yeah.
I would have liked more, and even more so than that, it's gonna be a 2-part Justice League movie, like right out the gate. It's like I would appreciate if you guys would have given me another Justice League movie before you're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the first one's gonna be 2 parts. It's like, all right, like I don't know.
It just seems, yeah. It seems like one is definitely ahead of the other. Like it seems like Marvel is still kind of. It's like Marvel is still kind of like Windows, still like kind of making shitty programming and stuff, and like not really catching.
Nice.
And like, DC. I'm sorry, DC is like that, and Marvel is more like, okay, we're understanding, we're being more innovative and continuing on and just making millions and billions of dollars. But it's like, because you know that DC could be making a lot of money.
Oh God, yeah.
Like we all know that, but it's just, they're not doing anything. There's just been Marvel's just been flooding the market with all of its movies. That's just what you connect to now with superhero movies. It's like when you see a superhero movie, it's not, was that a superhero movie? It was, oh, was that a Marvel movie? Or was that?
That's a good point.
You don't say, oh, was that a DC movie? Or unless you're, more kind of geeky, you know that kind of thing, then they're really just kind of cornering the market right now.
One thing I will say, that I think is really funny is, for me, I think these movies can be good. I think DC is going to be, if they can get it together, they could be a real force. I'm gonna give you guys some advice, this free advice. You're welcome right now.
Listen out right now.
So let's just say tomorrow. Don't know why they would, but let's just say they like came up to me like, Mr. Hunter, we know you're a big nerd. We want you to be like a consultant for DC Comics. They're like, oh shit, cool. That would be exactly what I'd say, by the way. Oh shit,
right,
cool.
that would be cool.
But if they were like, all right, Mr. Hunter, what's the first thing we need to do? I would go to like Portland, San Francisco, Seattle, Austin. Those 4 places where the hipster population is very high. And I don't mean that disparagingly, by the way, because I'm a total hipster. But I would go those places. I would bring them to like corporate headquarters, wherever it's going to be at, since they moved from New York. LA. It's going to be in LA. There we go. I just remembered. I would take all the people there. And I would just have a giant think tank for like 3 days. I just be like, all right, we're going to talk comics, we're going to talk action movies, we're going to talk drama. Tell us what you guys like. And we're going to like go through all the dozens of years of like comics that we've made. And we're going to pick out the best of the best based on what you guys have told us you want to see. And
it's like, remember all this stuff?
Yeah, and then we're going to build a roadmap to get from, point A to point B to points. Like, we're going to have like a legit game plan for like 5 years, because Marvel, they're building to the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, that's their big thing, but like they've set groundwork like crazy. I would pick something like that and be like, all right, let's just say we're going to build to the death of Batman. Let's just say it's like, all right, we're going to start here, we're going to build to that, like, and dude, use nerds, use your fan base. They want to help.
Yeah, they're probably more passionate than the people working there. In all reality.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
But oh well. So there you go, DC. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're expecting that check in the mail.
Yeah, but. I'd work for DC. I love DC.
Yeah, of course.
It's funny. I don't know if I'll do a formal review for it, but Save Constantine. Constantine is awesome. Bring it back, NBC. It's a good show. But
with Keanu Reeves.
No, goddamn, it's a terrible movie. The show it's on that was
no.
On
well,
NBC.
you can bring him back and put him in the show. Be like, hey, Keanu, like, remember Constantine?
He needs to stick to doing John Wick movies. All right.
John Wick 2, John Wick 27, The Wickedest.
I would watch John Wick 27. I love Keanu Reeves. But yeah, guys, go ahead and subscribe to us. Keep us. Let us know what you think about the trailer. I'd love to get other people's thoughts on this because I mean I could be in the minority on this. Like,
Honestly, I think they should just keep to themselves because I don't even care.
that's very nice.
Just kidding.
Okay, so I did. I saw. Oh God, what did I see? I can't remember what movie I saw, but they showed the Batman vs Superman trailer in it, and there's that line.
Age of Ultron. They showed it in Age of Ultron.
They showed it in Age of Ultron too, but I saw it in something before that. I think. Oh no, I saw it just. I was watching it at work, but.
Just looking at videos at work, whatever.
But that line where Batman's like, "Tell me, do you bleed?" and then Superman drops down. And he's like, "You will," and I was just like, "God damn!" I was like, "What a dumb line." I was like,
Oh, I don't think it was that dumb.
I thought it was.
I don't know.
No.
I think you're being a little bit nitpicky here, mister.
I thought that was terrible. But then the other thing, they cannot get Batman's voice right. God fucking damn it! Like they cannot make him not sound just so terrible. I don't know.
Well, he had like more of a robotic sounding voice in this one, which you know what I will say. It's funny you bring that up. I kind of liked it. Was kind of sinister sounding. It was like a robotic, tingy kind of low voice. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When he had the suit on. I don't know. I don't agree with you, Hunter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it has to be this way.
No. Tell me, Scott, do you bleed? You will. See, that was more menacing than Batman.
You there, Tiger.
Than punk ass Ben Affleck. Like, okay.
I'm more worried about that than I am about his voice. I'll tell you that.
You know what's funny? And I will. If Ben Affleck, if he was directing this Batman vs Superman movie, I would be much more excited for it.
True.
Because when Ben Affleck directs himself, he just knows what he's doing, and he's good. He's great with ensemble pieces. I just watched The Town like a month ago. I was like, I love this fucking movie. Like he's so good with like flushing out multiple characters.
It's like as long as he's directing it, and as long as it's in somewhere in New England, then he's gonna nail it.
Yeah, there you go.
But anywhere out of there without a Boston accent, just not doing it for him.
Like, that is one thing, though. Like, they should have had Ben Affleck be their Joss Whedon. Just be like, look, dude, we want you to, like, direct Justice League. We want you to be involved with, like, all the stories. And, just, like, oversee this whole thing. Then I would have been like, oh, that's a good call. But the fact that Zack Snyder doing all that, I'm like, yeah, I don't trust you to do any of this correctly. But...
All right, we're going over, man. We're killing this review right now.
Yeah, so I could be wrong though. But guys, let us know what you think. As far as the trailer, it comes out. We should have another one here probably in like 3 or 4 months. So I'm sure we'll show more of the story. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace.